You know that beauty doesn't disappear, it just sometimes sinks into silence. As the weight of the years settles on your shoulders, the fatigue etched on your face is often not covered up with makeup, but with a forgotten longing. Sometimes a woman looks in the mirror and feels that what she sees is not herself, a faded expression, skin that has lost its radiance, an invisible weight that has settled on her shoulders. But the truth is, beauty never leaves. It simply waits to be reminded. The elegance that lies deep within you awakens the moment you rediscover the right habits, and it begins to repair every silent crack on your face, one by one. Sometimes you fight not only against the outside world, but also against your own inner voice. Every sentence you use to criticize yourself, every breath constricted by stress, every small step of care you forget, leaves a new mark on your face, unnoticed. But strength lies in the courage to start over, in small, determined, and conscious steps. Regaining beauty is not the job of expensive creams, miracle promises, or the approval of others. Beauty quietly returns the day you choose to hold your shoulders high, soften your breath, touch your skin gently, and respect yourself. This video is here to open the door to that quiet return. Before starting this journey, I will ask you for something small but valuable. Write, "My beauty is returning," in the comments. Writing this is not just a sentence, it solidifies the promise you make to yourself, prepares your mind for this change, and strengthens the continuity of your habits. Because people begin to see what they say, and they become what they see. If you're ready to reawaken the light within you, let's begin. 1. Gently wake up your face every morning. Blood flow is the first sign of youth. A short facial massage every morning is not just a way to start the day with a touch. It is also a silent ritual that sends an awakening invitation to the facial muscles. Circulation, which slows down during the night, regains speed with the first movement of the morning, and the skin begins to receive the oxygenation it has been waiting for. This gentle awakening effect seems to recolor the dull-looking areas of the face. It's as if a curtain opens inside and the skin releases its hidden light. The fact that such a small touch can make such a big difference proves that beauty is often not complex, but consists of the right rituals. The effect of stimulating blood flow on youthfulness cannot be underestimated, because circulation is the skin's natural nourishment mechanism. Insufficient circulation causes dullness, the appearance of fine lines, and the face to look more tired over time. Morning massage is a natural microtherapy that reverses this. The light pressure of the fingertips both relaxes the facial muscles and accelerates the pumping of blood into the deeper layers of the skin. This means a more vibrant tone, plumper texture, and smoother surface. So massage is not just a habit, it is a small but powerful intervention that slows down the effects of aging. Repeating this simple movement every morning gradually becomes a beauty ritual. The facial muscles recognize the ritual and begin to respond more quickly. Circulation awakens more easily, and the skin becomes brighter with less effort. When practiced regularly, even the elasticity that diminishes with age is visibly supported. The process of deepening wrinkles slows down, facial contours appear more defined, and the person feels more refreshed and whole when looking in the mirror. In short, morning facial massage is not a small gesture. It is a silent agreement that reactivates youth. By the way, I know this is at least the second video you've watched on my channel, and it really upsets me that you're still not subscribed, because seeing you here, moving forward together on this journey, is very valuable to me. If you subscribe, you'll be supporting me in the strongest way possible, and we won't lose touch with each other. 2. Use jewelry sparingly but correctly. Minimalism is the language of true elegance. Wearing less jewelry doesn't diminish your look. On the contrary, It highlights elegance by drawing the eye to the right place. The natural lines of your face, the length of your neck, the balance of your shoulders. All of these look more noble with just one well-chosen piece. The minimalist approach transforms jewelry from an ornament into a statement piece. The goal is not to show off, but to make the right thing visible. That's why a simple necklace or delicate earrings often create a stronger statement than a large, flashy piece. Because when the eye is free from clutter, it perceives true beauty more clearly. Choosing the right jewelry becomes even more important with age, because mature skin and facial features can easily be overshadowed by excessive sparkle and large pieces. Minimal pieces, on the other hand, complement these natural changes with elegance rather than hiding them. For example, a thin gold earring enhances the sparkle around the eyes, while an overly large earring can distract attention. Similarly, a simple chain elongates the neckline, while a chunky necklace makes the neck appear shorter. Therefore, minimalism is not just an aesthetic choice. It is a smart strategy that consciously balances the proportions of the face and neck. Even a single, well-chosen piece has a psychological effect. As a person feels that simple but high-quality piece around their neck, wrist or ear, they remember their own value. The fact that less is deliberately, carefully and thoughtfully placed is a reflection of the care a person has for themselves. That's why minimal jewelry does more than change one's appearance. It nurtures a person's inner sense of elegance and brings a more refined energy to every area of daily life. Over time, this habit becomes one of the cornerstones of style. Fewer but higher quality pieces begin to appear in the wardrobe. The accessory table becomes simpler, and the image in the mirror becomes cleaner and more defined. Minimalism is not about hiding oneself. It is about clearing away clutter and bringing out true beauty. A woman who chooses the right jewelry is actually saying, "I complete my beauty with myself, not with adornments." And that is precisely why minimalism is the most powerful invisible accessory of mature beauty. 3. Start your day with a glass of warm water. Your skin will glow from within. Starting the day with warm water not only wakes up the body, it also sends a restart signal to the metabolism, which slows down during the night. This first sip activates every mechanism from the digestive system to circulation and begins to cleanse the body of the heaviness carried over from sleep. Warm water gently awakens the body without forcing it, providing both a physical and mental transition during those delicate morning moments. This transition is a crucial step in determining how your skin will look throughout the day, because the more comfortably your internal systems function, the more comfortably your skin breathes. The skin's radiance is nourished not by externally applied products, but largely by internal circulation and moisture balance. Warm water is one of the simplest yet most effective tools to support this balance. The amount of oxygen carried in the blood increases, penetrating cells more cleanly and quickly, which paves the way for clearer, more vibrant-looking skin. Especially after the age of 40, when the skin's natural moisture barrier begins to weaken, drinking warm water in the morning supports the cell's water retention capacity, reducing the appearance of fine lines. In other words, a single glass of water quietly lays the foundation for beauty throughout the day. This habit has a positive effect not only on the skin but also on hormone regulation. A balanced internal temperature in the morning helps cortisol levels remain more stable. When stress hormone levels are high, the face becomes tense, lines become more pronounced, and the skin feels tighter. Warm water calms the nervous system and brings the body to its first stop of balance. This gentle start causes the skin to behave more calmly throughout the day. Redness decreases, the skin acquires a more consistent texture, and facial expressions gain a natural softness. Over time, this small morning ritual becomes a cornerstone of a person's daily life. With each sip, an invisible bond is formed between the body and the skin. The person feels that they are taking good care of themselves. Taking good care of oneself is the deepest source of beauty, because beauty comes not only from creams and serums, but from the rhythm of the care one shows oneself. When applied regularly, warm water not only brightens the skin, it also gracefully softens one's approach to the day. Therefore, this seemingly simple habit forms a strong foundation in a mature woman's beauty discipline. 4. Stay away from jealousy. Inner peace illuminates the facial features. Jealousy is a tension that is invisible from the outside, but silently affects every point of the face. This emotion constricts the mind, tenses the body, and creates a permanent stiffness, especially in the facial muscles. The lines between the eyebrows, the tension around the lips, and the slight dullness in the eyes are often the result of this internal constriction. Inner peace, however, restores the face's natural softness. When a person stops competing with others, the tension on their face dissolves and their true radiance reappears. Beauty fades when compared. It shines more brightly when accepted. Jealousy is not only an emotional response, but also a biochemical process that ages the skin. When this emotion is active, cortisol rises, blood flow becomes unbalanced, and the face begins to look paler. The skin mirrors the chemistry of stress. But when a person distances themselves from this emotion, cortisol levels drop, blood circulation normalizes, and facial muscles relax. It's as if a door opens inside, and the light of youth, hidden for years, resurfaces. The effect of inner peace on beauty often goes unnoticed, but its impact is deeper than any cream, serum, or makeup can provide. Learning to stay away from jealousy is the courage to turn inward. A consciousness that says, "My path belongs to me," carries this sense of independence to the face. This creates softer eyes, a more natural smile, and a more rested expression. When a person focuses on their own potential rather than someone else's story, even their skin behaves differently. It looks more vibrant, recovers more easily, and renews itself more quickly. Because the body follows every decision of the mind, if there is peace inside, there is beauty outside. And when all these come together, it becomes clear that this habit is not only about managing emotions, but also one of the most powerful sources of youthful radiance. If you combine this with the other habits in this video, not only will you notice the change in your face, but those around you will too. That's why I recommend watching the entire video, because each point complements the other, and only together do they reveal the big picture that rebuilds beauty. 5. Clean gently. Skin hardness is unforgiving. Gently cleansing the skin is much more than a simple hygiene step. It is the most critical stage in preserving all the natural defense mechanisms of aging skin. Harsh gel cleansers, excessive rubbing, dense foams, or high alcohol products strip away the skin's protective oil layer. When this layer weakens, the skin first tightens, then dries out, and finally fine lines become more pronounced. In contrast, a gentle cleansing approach respects the skin's natural balance and focuses on protecting it. This is the most fundamental yet most effective step of elegance in a beauty routine. Gentle cleansing purifies the skin while also soothing it. The micro-tensions accumulated in the facial muscles throughout the day begin to dissolve with light touches. This accelerates circulation and contributes to a fresher-looking complexion. Cleansing with gentle movements also prevents the skin from becoming red or irritated. This is especially important after the age of 35, as the skin becomes more reactive and responds to even the slightest harsh movement. Therefore, gentle cleansing is not only physically, but also biologically a more appropriate approach. Being gentle with the skin also gives the person a mental rhythm. The cleansing phase is like a small but valuable break you take for yourself at the end of the day. This ritual sends the message, "I am taking good care of myself," to both the body and the mind at the same time. Over time, this habit becomes part of a woman's respect for her own beauty. The skin does not leave this kindness unrequited. It responds by looking calmer, brighter, and more balanced. Therefore, gentle cleansing is one of the quietest yet most effective steps to regain beauty. The skin does not forgive harshness, but it always responds to softness. These small touches create a great transformation over time and reveal the natural elegance of the face. 6. Stop comparing. Your own elegance is your only measure. The habit of comparison is one of the most insidious behaviors that unnoticeably wears down both the mind and the face. When a person begins to evaluate themselves based on others' appearance, life, success, or youth, they unconsciously begin to dim their own light. This internal pressure is reflected in facial features. The gaze hardens, the corners of the mouth tighten, and the overall expression becomes slightly dull. However, when a woman learns to measure her own elegance, all this tension on her face dissolves, because beauty comes not from a borrowed comparison, but from an inner wholeness. Comparison creates a constant illusion of deficiency in the mind. The thought, "I should be like that too," even changes the posture of the body. It pulls the shoulders forward, slightly lowers the face, and causes the person to overshadow their own potential. This psychological pressure manifests itself in the skin as an increase in cortisol, leading to dullness, tightness, and the deepening of expression lines. When a person stops looking at someone else's path, the body also begins to breathe more easily. Because human nature grows only at its own pace, when it tries to conform to standards that do not belong to it, both the mind and the face become tired. When a person centers on their own path, a noticeable softening appears in their facial expression. The eyes appear more open, the gaze takes on a warmer tone, and a natural ease appears at the corners of the lips. This change is not a result achieved with makeup, filters, or expensive creams. It is entirely a reflection of inner liberation. Because when comparison ceases, self-confidence increases, and when self-confidence increases, the facial expression brightens. The moment a woman turns to herself, her beauty returns to her. It is a very simple but very powerful cycle. Reducing comparison is not just emotional therapy. It is a habit that clears the mind, gathers energy, and balances body chemistry. When a person focuses on their own progress rather than someone else's story, cortisol decreases, serotonin increases, and this biochemical change makes the skin more vibrant, more evenly toned, and more supple. That's why one of the most effective ways to preserve beauty in mature years is to reduce mental burdens. Stopping comparisons is as concrete a beauty move as a skincare step. Ultimately, you realize true beauty begins the moment you stop comparing, because at that point, you no longer see inadequacy, but potential. You are accepted, not criticized, and all this inner transformation turns into a radiance that everyone outside notices. 7. Keep your shoulders straight. Posture comes before makeup. Posture complements a woman's facial expression because the energy carried by the shoulders and neckline directly determines how beauty is perceived. When shoulders slump, the face slumps too, the eyes become dull, the jawline appears lower than it is, and the entire silhouette tells a tired story. Yet, pulling the shoulders back slightly lifts not only the body, but the entire face. This small change creates a brightening effect that comes even before makeup. Because posture is the skeleton of beauty, the face is a shining showcase on this skeleton. Standing up straight is not just an aesthetic detail, but also the strongest natural supporter of a youthful appearance. When the shoulders are pulled back, the ribcage opens, breathing capacity increases, and oxygenation rises. This increase is directly reflected in the skin's tone. The face appears more vibrant, even, and radiant. At the same time, the jawline becomes more defined, the neckline lengthens, and the shoulder-neck ratio becomes more elegant. Many women look for aesthetic differences in creams and serums, but often the real effect of youth is hidden in posture. Slouching, on the other hand, causes the face to look older than it is over time, because gravity pulls not only the body's weight, but also the lines of the face downward. When the shoulders slump forward, the jaw tightens. When the jaw tightens, the neck muscles tense, and this tension creates lines over time. Standing up straight, however, eliminates this pressure and allows the facial muscles to relax naturally. This relaxation means that wrinkles soften and the expression becomes clearer. The effect is both immediate and long-term. When this habit is repeated regularly, not only does posture change, but all habits change. The person walks more gracefully, sits more softly, and moves more aesthetically. Improving posture also aligns the rest of the body. All these changes transform the expression of the face, revealing a stronger, younger, and brighter appearance. Beauty is not embellished here, but is reborn by integrating with the spine. Ultimately, the person realizes that good posture comes before makeup, because makeup only adds color, while posture carries light. Every time you pull your shoulders back, you notice how the lines on your face open up, how your expression comes alive, and how your beauty deepens. Therefore, when you establish this habit along with the other points in this video, you will see much more clearly how powerful the change is. 8. Pay attention to the décolleté area. Age whispers there the most. The décolletage area is as visible as the face, but it is often the most neglected area in care. Yet the first signs of age appear right here: fine lines, slight sunspots, dullness, and loss of elasticity. All these traces disrupt the integrity, no matter how well-groomed the face is. Paying attention to the décolletage means carrying beauty in an unbroken line from top to bottom, because this area of the skin is the silent recorder of every movement, every posture, and every emotion. It is the surface that most easily reads the touch of time. This sensitive area is much thinner than the facial skin and has a lower moisture retention capacity. Therefore, even a small oversight can quickly become apparent. Regular moisturizing, light upward massages, and the use of sunscreen transform the décolletage into an extension of a youthful appearance. When the skin here softens, the tone evens out, and the radiance returns, it is inevitable that the face will also look brighter. Because beauty is not just the result of a single area, but of harmony that spreads throughout the whole. Once this habit is established, when a woman looks in the mirror, she begins to see not only her face but also her neck and décolletage as a whole. This sense of wholeness boosts confidence. You'll notice how even your clothing choices change, because a well-cared-for décolletage makes every look more elegant, cleaner, and more powerful. The line of beauty expands, its boundaries no longer limited to the face. And on top of all this, I want to say this: paying attention to your décolletage doubles its effect when combined with the other habits in this video. That's why, when you watch the entire video, you'll realize you're building a system that restores your beauty from head to toe. 9. Learn to stay away from stress. Stress is the invisible pen of wrinkles. Stress is one of the most powerful factors that determine how the face will shape over time. Because when cortisol rises, the skin loses both moisture and elasticity. This situation causes fine lines to appear even before age advances, especially deepening lines between the forehead and eyebrows. Learning to reduce stress is like taking that invisible pen away. When the face stops being constantly drawn upon, its natural lines soften again. The skin becomes less taut, less red, and less tired. Therefore, stress control is not an aesthetic choice. It is a biological necessity for youth. When the mind calms down, the body relaxes, and this relaxation is directly reflected in the facial muscles. A tense jaw, furrowed eyebrows, pressed lips. These are all micro signs of stress. When a person regulates their breathing, takes short breaks during the day, or simply retreats to their own space for a few minutes, these muscles begin to relax. Relaxation allows the face to open upward, the gaze appears more open, and the expression becomes warmer. In other words, reducing stress creates not only an emotional, but also a visible transformation. Emotional hygiene is the most effective step in skincare, yet it is often overlooked. When a person learns to recognize thoughts that challenge, exhaust, and consume them, the body follows suit with the same lightness. This lightness is reflected not only in mood, but also in posture, gaze, and the overall radiance of the skin. Because beauty is not just something applied externally, how you live inside determines how you look outside. Reducing stress is therefore a gateway to renewal for both the spirit and the skin. 10. Give your night cream time to work. Sleep is the skin's quietest beautician. Night cream is the beginning of the most effective support given to skin that has been tired throughout the day. However, the real power of this support emerges when you give it time. During sleep, the skin enters repair mode, and the products used during this process penetrate much deeper. Night cream comes into play at this very moment, delivering the moisture, oil, and restorative components the skin needs to the cells. When applied a few minutes before bedtime rather than just slapped on, the product is more easily absorbed by the skin, resulting in a softer, more balanced complexion in the morning. Sleep is the skin's most powerful renewal phase because circulation increases throughout the night, cell division speeds up, and the skin barrier becomes active to repair itself. This natural process becomes much more effective when combined with night creams. Creams containing hyaluronic acid, retinol, peptides or ceramides in particular make the most efficient use of this biological window provided by sleep. As a result, the skin is not only nourished, but also begins to become firmer, plumper, and smoother. Allowing time for night cream is a quiet preparation that enhances sleep's aesthetic touch. Transforming the application of cream into a ritual rather than rushing through it also changes how the skin receives it. Light massage movements increase circulation, which allows the active ingredients in the product to spread more effectively. With massage, the skin both relaxes and gains more oxygen. Such preparation is especially important for mature skin. As we age, cell renewal slows down, and nighttime care becomes one of the fundamental steps in slowing down the aging process. Therefore, taking time for night cream is an investment in the future. Regularly applied night cream gradually transforms the skin texture to a completely different level. Dryness decreases, tightness disappears, tone irregularities fade, and the skin gains a stronger barrier. This small act of kindness to the skin throughout the night is valuable enough to slow down the effects of years. Because nighttime care is not just a product, it is a beauty foundation that is rebuilt every day. 11. Change your pillowcase. Everything that comes into contact with the skin leaves a mark. Your pillow is the surface your face is in closest contact with for most of the night, and this contact leaves far more of a mark than you might think. An old, hard, dense, or non-breathable pillow draws moisture from the skin, subjects the face to unnecessary pressure, and contributes to the lines that form in the morning becoming permanent over time. On the other hand, a soft, breathable, skin-friendly pillow both reduces friction and allows the skin to remain in a more comfortable position throughout the night. This small change is a fundamental factor that directly determines how your face will look when you wake up in the morning. The material of the pillowcase also plays a major role in skin health. Fabrics like cotton, which increase friction, can cause micro wrinkles on the face throughout the night. They also quickly absorb moisture, reducing the effectiveness of serums and creams applied at night. Fabrics like silk or similar friction-reducing materials allow the skin to glide smoothly, minimizing the formation of lines. This gentle transition ensures that the skin looks smoother and more rested in the morning. Therefore, choosing a pillow is a decision that requires as much consideration as choosing skincare products. The height and firmness of the pillow also affect the skin's aging process. A pillow that is too high compresses the neck, pulls the face downward, and makes double chin more pronounced over time. A pillow that is too firm, on the other hand, presses the face into a single point. A pillow of the correct height and with good support both maintains spinal alignment and allows the face to remain in a more natural position throughout the night. This harmonious position both reduces the risk of wrinkles and helps the face look brighter and more relaxed when you wake up in the morning. Changing your pillow contributes greatly to beauty, not only in terms of physical contact, but also in terms of sleep quality. A comfortable pillow facilitates the transition to deep sleep, and deep sleep is the most efficient phase of the skin's renewal process. Cells repair faster during this phase, collagen production increases, and the skin barrier strengthens. Choosing the right pillow supports this cycle, allowing the skin to heal more effectively in the quiet of the night. One of the biggest secrets to beauty is healthy sleep. As a result, changing your pillow is a beauty move that seems simple, but has long-term effects. Because everything that comes into contact with the skin leaves a mark. The important thing is that these marks do not turn into lines, irritation, or dullness over time. With the right pillow and the right pillowcase, the skin is protected at night and wakes up fresher in the morning. 12. Make loving yourself a habit. Beauty blossoms from within first. Loving yourself may seem independent of outward appearance, but it is actually an inner attitude that forms the deepest root of beauty. When a person is kind to themselves, the tension on their face diminishes, their gaze softens, and their expression becomes warmer. Someone who has made a habit of criticizing themselves unconsciously carries harshness on their face. The corners of their lips appear tighter, their eyebrows furrow more easily, and their skin takes on a heaviness rather than a lightness. However, when a person begins to make peace with their inner voice, this peace is reflected outward with the same lightness. The first step to beauty is to view the mirror as an ally, not an enemy. Loving oneself does not mean accepting the body as it is. It teaches us to relate to it with the value it deserves. As this relationship strengthens, the person realizes they are taking better care of themselves. They eat better, sleep better, and make more careful choices. All these behaviors directly affect the skin, because the body renews itself only as much as it is cared for. When inner love increases, stress decreases, and when stress decreases, the tired lines on the face fade away. Thus, beauty becomes an energy rising from within, not something added from the outside. The practice of loving oneself also removes the shadows that feelings of worthlessness cast on the facial features. When a woman sees herself as inadequate, her jaw tightens more easily, her gaze shies away more quickly, and her overall facial expression closes. Yet, when she increases the compassion she feels for herself, her jaw relaxes, her neck lengthens, and a natural brightness forms in her eyes. This physical change occurs not through makeup or skincare products, but through a more inclusive relationship the mind establishes with the body. Here, beauty becomes a posture rather than an image. Someone who makes loving themselves a habit learns to recognize the rhythm of negative self-talk and soften it. This softening relaxes both the mind and the face. Because every criticism creates a small tightening in the facial muscles, every compassionate thought sends a signal of relaxation to the muscles. Therefore, when the internal dialogue changes, the facial expressions also change. Over time, the person's entire expression becomes clearer, softer, and younger. Inner love works like an invisible protective layer on the skin. Loving oneself also breaks the cycle of constantly seeking beauty outside. Because when a person affirms their own value, they need the approval of others less. This liberates many details, from posture to smile. The skin reflects this freedom with a more natural radiance. The face's energy becomes calmer and more balanced. Beauty is no longer a goal but a natural outcome of one's inner world. Therefore, loving oneself is the most powerful yet quietest method of transforming one's appearance. And over time, this truth becomes clear. The light that comes from loving oneself cannot be achieved with cream, makeup, or skincare, because that light sprouts from within, grows from within, shines from within. As this habit takes root, beauty becomes sustainable. It transforms from a single day into a way of life. Each of these habits, seemingly small, is actually a silent architect rebuilding your beauty from the ground up. From facial muscles to posture, from breathing rhythm to nighttime care, each step sends a renewal signal to your body. Every bit of care you show yourself returns as a softer glow to your skin, a more peaceful depth to your expression, and a more elegant line to your posture. Beauty is not the result of major transformations, but of the right repetitions. It grows not from what is applied externally, but from what is nourished internally. When you incorporate these 12 habits into your life, you will notice that it's not just your reflection in the mirror that changes. Your self-respect, the way you carry your body, and the mark you leave on the world will also strengthen simultaneously. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. Take care of yourself and see you in the next video. Remember, a woman is the person with the power to change the world. Boldly forge your own path and savor every moment. And always trust the quiet strength inside you. It knows the way even when you hesitate. Celebrate your small victories, because they're the foundation of your biggest transformation. Keep choosing yourself, even on the days it feels difficult. I'll be right here, cheering you on in every step of your journey.